वाहिगुरु जी का खालसा वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह। पतत पावन भगत बच्छल कृपा निधान चावर छातर तख्त ਸਿੰਘਾਸਨ ਦੇ ਮਾਲਕ ਰਾਜਾਨ ਰਾਜ ਭਾਣਾਨ ਭਾਣ ਦੇਵਾਨ ਦੇਵ ਉਪਮਾ ਮਹਾਨ ਧੰਨ ਸਤਿਗੁਰੂ ਅਕਾਲ ਪੁਰਖ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਦੇ ਸਰਗੁਣ ਸਰੂਪ ਧੰਨ ਸਤਿਗੁਰੂ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਗ੍ਰੰਥ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਜੀ ਦੀ ਅਪਾਰ ਕਿਰਪਾ ਰਹਿਮਤ ਬਖਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਦਾ ਸਦਕਾ ਆਪ ਸਮੂਹ ਸਾਧ ਸੰਗਤ ਬਹੁਤ ਲੰਬੇ ਸਮੇਂ ਤੋਂ ਸਤਿਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਦੀ ਪਾਵਨ ਪਵਿੱਤਰ ਹਜ਼ੂਰੀ ਅੰਦਰ ਹਾਜ਼ਰੀ ਭਰ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ। ਸੋ ਕੁਝ ਕੁ ਸਮੇਂ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਹੁਣ ਦਾਸ ਨੂੰ ਬੇਨਤੀ ਕੀਤੀ ਗਈ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਜੋ ਪਰਸੋਂ ਸਤਵੇਂ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਹਰ ਰਾਏ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਦੇ ਜੀਵਨ ਉੱਪਰ ਕੁਝ ਕੁ ਸਮੇਂ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਵਿਚਾਰਕ ਦੀ ਸਾਂਝ ਪਾਉਣ ਦੀ ਬੇਨਤੀ ਕੀਤੀ ਗਈ ਸੀ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਸਿੰਘਾਂ ਪਾਸੋਂ। ਸੋ ਆਪ ਦੀ ਬੇਨਤੀ ਪ੍ਰਵਾਨ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੋਏ so the Singhs have done a benti for me to do a little bit of the Jeevan of Dhan Sri Guru Har Rai Sahib ji. Now if we look into the Jeevan of any of the Guru Sahibs, it takes a long time to cover their Jeevan, so I'm just going to I've picked a little bit of just to share the Jeevan of Dhan Sri Guru Har Rai Sahib ji. Dhan Sri Guru Har Rai Sahib ji was born in the house of the son of the 6th Guru Sri Guru Har Gobind Sahib ji. ਸਤਿਗੁਰੂ ਛੇਵੇਂ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਮੀਰੀ ਪੀਰੇ ਦੇ ਮਾਲਕ ਧੰਨ ਸਤਿਗੁਰੂ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਹਰਗੋਬਿੰਦ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਦੇ ਜੋ ਵੱਡੇ ਸਪੁੱਤਰ ਭਾਈ ਗੁਰਦਿੱਤਾ ਜੀ ਦੇ ਗ੍ਰਹਿ ਵਿਖੇ ਮਾਤਾ ਨਿਹਾਲ ਕੌਰ ਦੇ ਕੁੱਖ ਤੋਂ ਜੋ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਹਰ ਰਾਏ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਦਾ ਜੋ ਅਵਤਾਰ ਹੋਇਆ। ਸੋ they were the grandson of Sri Guru Hargobind Sahib ji, and in the early years they would spend a lot of time with Sri Guru Har Rai Sahib ji. Sri Guru Hargobind Sahib ji. They were born in the city of Kirtpur Sahib. So Sri Guru Hargobind Sahib ji at that time was in the area of Kirtpur Sahib. And when they were small, they were just a child. They'd play in the darbar of Sri Guru Hargobind Sahib ji. They would go out when Sri Guru Hargobind Sahib ji used to go out hunting. They would accompany the Gursikhs and go out with them. One day, Sri Guru Hargobind Sahib ji, along with the other Gursikhs, were out in the jungle. And Sri Guru Har Rai Sahib ji, from a small age, used to wear a really big chola. Now, like I've got a chola on there, chola used to be really big from the bottom. It used to be quite wide. One day, Sri Guru Har Rai Sahib ji, just like a child would do, was running through the jungle. As they were running through, Sri Guru Hargobind Sahib ji was walking behind them. Sri Guru Har Rai Sahib ji's chola hit a flower, and the petals of the flower broke and fell on the floor. So like if you tap a flower, the petals break very easily. Sri Guru Hargobind Sahib ji walking behind them came, and they came to that flower and they seen the petals on the floor. Sri Guru Hargobind Sahib ji asked the Gursikhs, they asked all the Gursikhs, they said that who has broken this petal, this flower, who hit this flower, why is this flower broken? At that time Sri Guru Har Rai Sahib ji came to Sri Guru Hargobind Sahib ji and said, it was me, Guru Sahib ji, it was me, I was running and my chola hit this flower and the petals have fallen off. Now this might seem like a really small thing, that if a flower breaks, it's not really a big issue. But if you look into the deep Sikhya, the teaching that Sri Guru Hargobind Sahib ji gave Sri Guru Har Rai Sahib ji from this. Now when that flower was together, when the petals were on the flower, that flower was Harya Parya. Now if you imagine any flower, it has a nice smell, sugandhi odi vadiya hundi hai. But if the petals break off, then petals are worthless. If them petals break off from that flower and fall on the floor, they're just going to roll into the feet of whoever walked past. They're just going to be low on the floor. Now if we apply that to a jeevan of a person, of a human, if we stay onto that flower, which we can call our dharam, our faith, then we stay Harya Parya. We have the kirpa of Akal Purkh Vaheguru, and we blossom in this life. In this opportunity that Akal Purkh Vaheguru has given us, we blossom in life and we become one again with Akal Purkh Vaheguru. But if we break from that flower like them petals did and we fall on the floor, then we will just roll in this dunya, in Maya, in this illusion of Maya, we will just get lost. And we will just crumple. Like when the petals break of a flower, after a while they dry up. They no longer keep their color, they no longer keep their shape, they just dry up. Just like that, our Atma in this world will just dry up if we do not give it its food. Just like we give our body food, we eat every day on a daily basis. If we don't eat, our body becomes kamjor, it becomes weak. Just in that way, if we do not give our Atma, the Khrak, that food of Akal Purkh Vaheguru's gun, it will also crumple up. Now if we look, that flower that is dharam, the root of that flower that is dharam, what is dharam? Now, we talk about faith and we talk about different religions, and people generally link religion and faith being the same thing. But how do we become a religious person? How do we become someone of faith? Vidwans, some historians, some writers have written what is known as the 10 angs, the 10 lings of faith. What is dharam? Khima, ahinsa, daya, mrid, sat bachan tapatan, seal, soch, trisna bin, dharmaling, das jan. What are these 10 angs, these 10 limbs of faith? Now it's written, people have described these in many ways. Some people describe them as 5 different things, but I'm going to go through these 10 things, how you can break down a person of dharam, a dharmi banda. Now in Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji, again and again it comes that a dharmi person, a person of dharam, is always comes out on top. And Sri Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji is given this sikkha to Sri Guru Har Rai Sahib Ji in a very small, in their bal avastha, in their young ages. They're just a young child yet. But what are them nishaniya, what are them signs of a dharmi person? Khima. So khima, the first one, is to forgive people. If someone does something wrong, we should always forgive them. Now, sometimes it can be hard. If someone has some kind of problem with you, if you have a fight with someone, it can be hard to forgive them. If we look to Sri Guru Gobind Singh Sahib Ji, all their life, Aurangzeb had a vair with the Guru Kar. Aurangzeb made their father, Sri Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji, shaheed. They had 14 jangs with Sri Guru Gobind Singh Sahib Ji. They made their Vadde Sahibzade shaheed in the Jang of Chamkaur Sahib. In Sarhand, in Fatehgarh Sahib, their Chote Sahibzade were bricked alive. But Sri Guru Gobind Singh Sahib Ji showing khima, when the son of Aurangzeb came to Sri Guru Gobind Singh Sahib Ji, his name was Bahadur Shah, he came to Sri Guru Gobind Singh Sahib Ji and asked for help. He asked for help, that he was trying to win this battle and become the new king of India at that time. And Sri Guru Gobind Singh Sahib Ji forgave him, forgave what his father had given. Now normally, if we look to our families and we look to family problems or family feuds, especially in India, generally, we won't know why we don't talk to another member of our family. They'll say, oh, pello to chalda va. And that is a big thing in our culture, that if our family has had a fight with someone else, it doesn't matter how many years it has been, we will still keep that vair. We will still not forgive them. But Sri Guru Gobind Singh Sahib Ji immediately is the son of Aurangzeb, and Maharaj forgave them and blessed them with the Raj of Delhi. So khima, giving forgiveness, is a sign of a dharmi banda. So where does that forgiveness come from? Just think, we'll talk about that later. Khima, ahinsa. Ahinsa, now hinsa means to kill or to hurt somebody. Ahinsa is the opposite of that. So it is to not hurt or kill anybody. Now this can be done in 3 different ways. It can be done in your mind, man karke, bani karke, with how you speak, and sarir karke. Now if you break them into 3 things, how can you do wrong by someone with your mind? You can think bad thoughts about someone. Now thinking bad thoughts about someone, you might think that's really minute, it doesn't really matter. But if we are the Sikhs of Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj, we should always think pala of everyone. We should always hope for the best for everybody. So with your mind, we should be thinking good of others. With what you say, now you shouldn't say things that hurt someone. That is a sign, that is a nishani of a dharmi banda. Someone who, with what they speak, they don't hurt people. And then sarir karke is someone who does not hurt others, obviously physically kill them for no reason. Khima ahinsa daya. So someone who shows daya, Bhai Kanhaiya Ji is a prime example of someone who showed daya. Even though they were in the battle against the Mughals, they could only see Akal Purkh Vaheguru everywhere. Sab Gobind hai, Sab Gobind hai, Gobind bin nahi koi. Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji tells us that when you reach the avastha of someone of true faith, everyone you see is God. Bhai Kanhaiya Ji saw God in everybody. And once you get to that level, only once you're at that level will you be able to show compassion towards everybody. Khima ahinsa daya mrid. Mrid is to speak nice bachan, komal bachan. So that obviously it links in with khima, ahinsa with your bachan. So you speak nice of others, you don't say anything wrong to others. Mrid. Sat bachan. What you speak, you say the truth. Now, sometimes them two can conflict. How sometimes the truth can hurt, but you shouldn't. What's worse than telling a lie to please someone? That is worse than telling someone the truth, even though it might hurt them. Because by telling someone the truth, it can also help them on this path. So Sat Bachan, Tap, to do Bhakti. Now if we look at the Jivan of Sri Guru Har Rai Sahib Ji, it said that 5 times in their Jivan on this earth, they did Sava Lakh Jap of Sri Japji Sahib. Sava Lakh is 125,000. 5 times over, they did at least that on top of their Nitnem, separate to their daily Nitnem, separate to going and doing Gursikhi Prachar. They did 5 Sava Lakh Japji Sahibs. Now sometimes people say we shouldn't count how much Bani we do, it doesn't really matter. Look at our Atihas. If Sri Guru Har Rai Sahib Ji has obviously counted them times that they've done that Sava Lakh Japji Sahib, obviously that's a teaching for us. If we don't, our mind works in such a way, if we don't give it constraints, if we don't give it deadlines, it will never do it. Just think of yourself when you've been at school, or if you're at school or university. If your lecturer doesn't give you a deadline, you're never going to get that work done. If we don't set our mind targets on this path of Gursikhi, we will never develop. So we have to give these as guidelines to help us. And as we slowly develop, we will get to that stage of we don't have to count, we will just constantly 24/7 recite Gurbani. So Sat Bachan Tap. So that is Tap, a Dharmi person, a person of faith. Sri Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji in this teaching saying that if you stay to that flower, you will become Parfullat in your Dharm. So you will get all of these gun automatically just by staying Jurya Hoya, by staying stuck to your Dharm. Tap Dan. Now giving Dan, sometimes it can seem very easy to give Dan. We come to the Gurdwara Sahib, we might do an ardas, but there's different types of Dan as well. Satya Manasantok Upjay Dene Ke Bichar De De Mangah Sesa Guna Sob Kare Sansar. Now there's 3 different types of Danis, but we want to become the perfect, the Sacha Dani. Now the Sacha Dani, the true giver, gives but has santok, has contentment in their mind. Now sometimes when we give, we expect something back. It seems like a norm, something automatically. If I give you something, I expect you to give something back. A true Dani, on giving Dan, is content with just giving. They don't want to get anything. Satya Manasantok Upajay Dene Ke Vichar. Just by thinking about giving Dan. De De Mangahe Sasa Guna. There's those who give but expect 100 million times more back. So if I lend you £5, I will expect more back. That's not Dan, is it? That's just like giving a loan. Now we might come to the Gurdwara Sahib and give to Maharaj, but we come and we do an ardas because we want a new job. Maharaj gives us that job, but it's only a matlav. There's no prema bhakti. There's no pyar there with Maharaj. It's just, Maharaj, I know you can give me something. Give me it. What should we be asking for? We should be asking for contentment. We should be asking for these guns. Sob kare sansar. There's those who give to charity just so the whole world sings their praises. Just so everyone bigs them up. Now, that can be done in many ways. We might give just so our name is announced that, yeah, that person's given it. It's like a farj. If a family member's got a party, we have to do a £5 ardas so our name will get mentioned. That isn't true prem with Akal Purkh Vaheguru. That's not true prem with Guru Sahib. Seal is Komal Sabha. So everything you do, you have pyar, you are sweet towards everyone. Soch, you keep such pavitra. Seal Soch Trisana bin. You do not have any desires in your mind. You get to that stage of not having any desires. Now, them 10 things that I've given, them 10 things that I've described, there's not one person on this earth who would have all 10 of them unless they are pura tarmi banda. Now, the only way we will get them guns, if you look at all of them guns, we could go on for a lot longer, but we're short on time. For each one of them gun, you can think of a time in the Guru's times where Maharaj has shown that quality. So how do we become that quality? How do we get that quality inside us? Maharaj is now in the form of Akal Purkh Vaheguru in Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji. And Maharaj's bachan is Sat Gur Ki Bani Sat Saroop Hai Gurbani Bani Hai. That Akal Purkh Vaheguru, this Gurbani, the Bani of the 10 Gurus in Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji, is the Saroop, is the true Saroop of Akal Purkh Vaheguru, Gurbani Bani Hai. By reciting that Gurbani, we become that Gurbani. By reciting Gurbani, we get them gun. So Sri Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji is giving that teaching to Sri Guru Har Rai Sahib Ji at a very, very young age. that if you want to become successful in this world as a dharmic person, you need to stay stuck to your dharma. If you break away from your dharma, now what is our dharma? Our dharma is that of the house of Sri Guru Nanak Dev Sahib Ji. It is to come and do Sangat daily. It is to do Nitnem in the morning, evening, and before we go to sleep. To have the Panchakakar, to take Amrit. That is our dharma. If we stick to that, we will become successful in this world, and we will cross this river, ocean of the world, and become one again with Akal Purkh Waheguru. If we break from that, we will just get lost like that guy in the Sakhi that Bhai Har Rai Singh just told you. He lost his ways, he was stuck in more. So we have to rise above that. The second bachan that Sri Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji gave Sri Har Rai Sahib Ji, Sri Guru Har Rai Sahib Ji at that time, was that if you're going to wear a big chola, you have to be able to look after it. Now that seems kind of normal. Again, it just seems, if you look at it, upra, it just seems like a simple button. If you're going to wear something that's big and it's hanging off your body, look after it. But if you look into the depth of it, what the meaning behind that was, if you're going to take a big jummevari, if you're going to take a big responsibility on this earth to become the next guru, you have to be able to samb it. Now, how does that apply to us? We're not going to become the guru, but if we're on this world and we have been given this body of a human, we have to be able to look after it so we can become one with the Akal Purkh Waheguru. So we follow that dharma and we stick to that dharma. And from that day forward, Sri Guru Har Rai Sahib Ji, whenever they got up to walk, they would always hold their chola together because of that teaching that they got from Sri Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji. Then the time came when Miri Piri de Malik, Sri Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji was going to leave this world, this physical body, and they gave the Gurta Gaddi to Sri Guru Har Rai Sahib Ji by giving a nari or panj paise matha taking, the normal way of giving the Gurta Gaddi. And after giving that, they also gave them another bachan. Now they've already shown Sri Guru Har Rai Sahib Ji that their Guru's bachan that they got of looking after their chola and sticking to their dharma, they followed that throughout their life. They did panj 5 times, they did Sawa Lakh Japji Sahib, like I said, they stuck to them bachan. They also then always looked after that chola that they were wearing, their physical chola, the one that covers their body. Also, they took the jummevari of the Guru, of the Gurta Gaddi, even though they were born that they were going to be the Guru. It was a teaching for us. If you're going to take on that responsibility, you have to be able to look after it. So they did that. And at the time that they were given Gurta Gaddi, Sri Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji gave them another bachan. They said that you are to keep with you at all times Tyar par tyar Gursikhs ready for battle, but you are never to go into battle. So they were given that. Now that can also be hard. Now, if you think of any kind of king or any army, any government even these days, they have these armies, but they use them all the time. Over little things, they'll start using them because it's power, isn't it? Sri Guru Har Rai Sahib Ji was Guru for around 20 years, over 20 years. They did not fight one jang, but at all times with them, they manned the bachan. By at all times, they had 2200 Ghod Sawar with them. Tyar par tyar Gursikhs. 2200 is 2,200 Ghod Sawar with them at all times, ready for battle if needs be. But then they never went into battle. Now, what does that also teach us? Sometimes we think that we do not need to have that the soldier side of Sikhi with us anymore. Yeah, at the times of the Gurus it was needed. We needed to go into battle. But Sri Guru Har Rai Sahib Ji knew they were never going to go into battle, but they still upheld that because that is part of our dharma, that is part of our faith. So we are to keep that at all times. Even if we're not going to go into battle, we are to have that with us at all times and follow that bachan. So Sri Guru Har Rai Sahib Ji becomes the Guru. They spent most of their time at Kiratpur Sahib blessing the Sangta. Now, sometimes we might think, what if we can't go see the Guru? We might not get the blessings. But that isn't always true. There was a Sakhi of Bhai Gonda Ji. Bhai Gonda Ji was a Sikh of the times of Sri Guru Har Rai Sahib Ji. Sri Guru Har Rai Sahib Ji sent them to do prachar in different areas. So they sent them and they were far away and they're doing Gursikhi da prachar. And one day they woke up in the morning, they had a Ishnan. And after having their Ishnan, they obviously normally, their daily routine would be they'd do their Nitnem and then they'd go and do prachar in the Sangat. One day they sat and they just sat in a samadhi. They sat in a samadhi for the whole day. The whole day went past and Bhai Gonda Ji did not move. At the same time, in Kiratpur Sahib, Sri Guru Har Rai Sahib Ji woke up that morning, did their Ishnan, and they sat on their takht in the darbar, in the sangat, but they do not move all day. And the sangat are coming and they're thinking, because just like we do now in the Gurdwara Sahib, in them days as well, they would do, Maharaj would do pog to the langar, then the sangat would eat it. And them days, Maharaj would put their hand in the langar, in the karapar shah, they would la panja. These days we pay to karpan as per Guru Maryada. So, Sri Guru Har Rai Sahib Ji all day has not moved. They've just sat a dole on their takht. And time passes and the Gursikhs do vichar. And when Bhai Gonda Ji came back from where they were doing prachar with the Gursikhs, the Sikhs that were in Kiratpur Sahib spoke to them and they said one day, Sri Guru Har Rai Sahib Ji just didn't move at all. All day they didn't do pog to langar, they didn't get up to eat, nobody else ate. We don't know what happened that day. And they spoke and they said on that certain day, Bhai Gonda Ji also was sat in a samadhi and didn't move all day. And when they asked Maharaj, Maharaj said, we Bhai Gonda Ji concentrated on our charan. They sat there and they were on full concentration on us all day. And if a Gursikh remembers us with that full concentration, we become vasa by them. If our Bhagat remembers us, we become vasa by them and we'll do whatever they want. And Bhai Gonda Ji that day wanted to just sit in our charan. So I sat them in my charan and all day they were doing bhakti. Now how does that apply to us? If we sit and we dhyantar of Sri Guru Gobind Singh Sahib, Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji, or any of the Gurus, the Guru will listen to whatever we ask for. They will stay and they are Hajar Najar at all times when we are doing bhakti. So that is another bakshish that Sri Guru Har Rai Sahib Ji gave. And also, so Maharaj is sat in Kiratpur Sahib, they're continuing to bless the Sangat. There was a time when one of Maharaj's Sikhs was in a battle with Jaidapurana. Now Jaidapurana was known as a big warrior. And the Gursikh that was fighting against him at the time remembered Maharaj just as they were going into battle. And Maharaj put their hand to protect that Gursikh, stopped the var from Jaidapurana and helped the Gursikh defeat this warrior. And when that Gursikh came to see Maharaj again, they asked Sri Guru Har Rai Sahib Ji that why is he such a surma? Why is he so powerful? Now that wasn't that battle. Maharaj didn't actually go into fight. That was just a battle of a certain area that was going on, like a lakke di ladai, if you want to call it. And Maharaj, they asked Maharaj, why is he such a surma? And Maharaj said when his mother was pregnant, quite heavily pregnant, one day she went to the river to drink some water. When she went to that river, on the opposite side of the river, there was a lion. And that lion looked directly into the eyes of his mother. And that lion's gun of being a surma, obviously the lion is known as the king of the jungle, that gun and them qualities went into him as a young child. And also when he was at a young age, he saw a lion. Now what does that teach us? Sri Guru Har Rai Sahib Ji then gave us that teaching that when a woman is pregnant, in them months of pregnancy, what she does, what she sees, what she eats, what she says, has an effect on the baby. Now, when a woman is pregnant, if she recites Gurbani, if she comes to Sangat, if she looks at photos of Gursikhs, of the Gurus, if she looks and has the darshan of Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj, that child will always stay true to Gursikhi. If you sit at home watching soaps and watching TV, watching films, that asar will go on the child and the child will become like that. That is another blessing that Sri Guru Har Rai Sahib Ji gave us. That's why if we look to our Ayat Maryade, it says that when a woman is pregnant, they are to listen to as much Gurbani as possible, to recite as much Gurbani as possible. That was a blessing that Sri Guru Har Rai Sahib Ji gave us. And that Gursikh that came and asked that question, also that day had with them their nephew. They had their nephew, they hold, just like we hold a child close to us. And the child in front of Sri Guru Har Rai Sahib Ji was tapping his stomach. He was like rubbing his stomach, just patting on his belly. And Sri Guru Har Rai Sahib Ji asked that Gursikh, they said, why is this child, why is he patting his stomach? And he said to Maharaj that we are poor. We don't have any money. We don't have enough money to eat daily. Some days we eat, some days we don't eat. They were very poor. Sri Guru Har Rai Sahib Ji blessed them and said that that child will be a Raja. They will be Malaks. Now if you look in India, there's Raja that come down from Patiala and Nabha. They were two brothers. Now that child became the Raja of Patiala and Nabha. Him and his brother were the Raja of Patiala and Nabha, and their Pidi is still going on in India today. That was the bakshish of the bhajan of Sri Guru Har Rai Sahib Ji. Also then, when the Gursikh went home and he told his wife about this, she said, you've managed to bless your brother's son, but what about our sons? Our sons are still going to say paupers, no one's going to give them anything. Why don't you go get him some blessings from Sri Guru Har Rai Sahib Ji? So he told his son, he goes, when you go there, pat on your stomach, and maybe Maharaj will give you a blessing. And Maharaj also blessed them that you will never be hungry again. Because Maharaj also knew that they had purposely brought that child to get that Raj. Now, sometimes it comes with our karam, what we are to get. Maharaj pargated them karam of them two brothers and they become Raje. Maharaj then blessed that Gursikh's son by saying he will never be hungry again, and he never went hungry again. There were the blessings that Sri Guru Har Rai Sahib Ji was giving at Kirtpur Sahib. And then also, we all probably know this, Sri Guru Har Rai Sahib Ji is known for the amount of satkar that they gave to Gurbani. One time at Kirtpur Sahib, Maharaj is sat on their takht, and Sikh Sangta are coming to do the darshan of Maharaj, and they're singing Gurbani Kirtan. Maharaj hears that Gurbani Kirtan, and all of a sudden, quickly get up off their takht. As they were getting up, they hit their knee on the takht, and their knee started bleeding, and the Gursikhs asked Maharaj, they said, Maharaj, why did you get up so quick? You could have just slowly got up. And Maharaj said that if I do not get up to show respect to Gurbani, you never will, as the Sangat, they never will. So Maharaj themselves taught us that adab, that satkar of Gurbani. Also, Sri Guru Har Rai Sahib Ji's oldest son, Ram Rai, went to Delhi to do prachar. As he was there, he had a lot of karamata, he had a lot of mystical powers, and he was showing them, and Aurangzeb was starting to become fond of him. And some of the Muslims, the Mughals at that time, got worried. They thought, what if he makes a link with the Sikhs and Aurangzeb? And they plotted to break that relationship. What they went and told Aurangzeb is that in the teachings of the Gurus of the Sikhs, it writes against Musalman. And they used the Pankti Mitti Musalman ki. And they went and told Aurangzeb. Aurangzeb came, called Ram Rai to him, and asked him the meaning of that Pankti. And Ram Rai, with his mouth, Jawani, changed that Pankti from Mitti Musalman ki to Mitti Beiman ki, when really it's Musalman ki. If you look, he didn't even change the full word, he changed half the word. And when Sri Guru Har Rai Sahib Ji found out about this, they said, whichever way he is facing, tell him to continue walking that way and never see us again. Now think about that. Your oldest son, those of you that have got children, you will know how much prem and pyar you have for your child. To then say to that child, never come and see me again, for the adab of Gurbani. If the Gurus have told us to do anything, they have done it first. If the Gurus have told us to have adab satkar for Gurbani in every form, they have shown it themselves. And Sri Guru Har Rai Sahib Ji then gave the bhajan, Jin pe adab nabani tara, jano so sikh nahi hamara. That Sikh, that person who does not have adab or pair, does not have respect for Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji, for any form of Gurbani, that can be in our homes, in Gutka Sahibs, in Pothiyan. We have to keep them on a high place, never have our feet towards them, keep them clean, wash our hands before we touch Gurbani. That person who does not have pair adab for Gurbani, they are not a Sikh of mine. Now these are just few of the blessings that Sri Guru Har Rai Sahib Ji gave us. Now we have to think and apply them to our lives. We have to show respect to Gurbani, and we have to go back to that bhajan that Sri Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji gave them. If we stick true to this flower of this life of our dharam, then as we are petals on that flower, we will flourish. If we break away from that flower, we will only just crumple up and be part of the dirt of this earth in Maya. So we are to become one with the Kalpurk Waheguru through dharam. So I'm going to finish now. There are just some of the teachings, the blessings that Sri Guru Har Rai Sahib Ji gave us. Some Gursikhs celebrated that Gurpurab on Friday. So I thought it's fitting to just talk about the Jivan of Sri Guru Har Rai Sahib Ji. Through doing the vichar of Sri Guru Har Rai Sahib Ji, I would have made many mistakes. Please, you are the Sangat, forgive me. Bless me with Gyan so I can continue doing the seva of the house of Sri Guru Nanak Dev Sahib Ji.